Hello Flosstube, welcome back. This is the Garden Goose Stitcher. My name is Teresa. This is my Flosstube about my cross stitch. It is not a calendar update. That's all I'm going to say. We're not doing the date anymore. I do know that this is Flosstube 20. That's it. That's as much. I'm going to know my name, hopefully, and which Flosstube this is. This is number 20. It seems like it's kind of a big deal to me. Thank you for being here. Thanks for stopping by to visit or finding me. It's been 2 weeks since my last video, and I missed you guys last week, but I did make a note of like what I was doing, and I'm glad I did last week because I would have forgotten almost everything I did the week prior. I think that's why I do like recording every week, but I wouldn't have had very much to show you. So things have been weird around here. We've had weird weather, like really weird weather. It was hot and then it was cold and snowy, and it's been freezing every night. I've been running little candles out to I have like a terracotta heater. Have you ever seen that on viral videos? I've been trying it, and it's so far so good, knock on wood. It's kept my baby tomatoes from freezing. I moved them out. They do well. I've been repotting them. I ran out of soil, but I need to get some more. But they're doing really, really well. So I've been, basically, the terracotta heater is you just put candles or a candle. I've been using either like 2 tea lights or maybe 2 emergency 5-hour candles. Do you ever get those from the dollar store? They have them at the 5-quarter store, Family Dollar. And I always keep some on hand in case we lose power, because that's not fun. I don't like living in the dark. So it's always my luck that we don't have batteries. So I like to keep 5-hour cheap candles. They come in like a 5-pack. Anyway, you put them on something that's fireproof, and then you have a little lip, and then you put a terracotta pot underneath, over top, upside down, and it just kind of like radiates heat. I have like a little topper on. If you're on Instagram, you've seen it, but it's really working. Praise the Lord. I bought a Mr. Buddy heater, which is a little propane personal heater, and then I was too nervous to try it because Dave's not here at night. You know, he's a night shifter, so I bought it, I set it up, I laid in bed, and I was like, can't do it. I went back out there and I put my 2 terracotta and started up my terracotta heater because I just was too nervous. So, but it's working. My peas are up, despite the cold weather. My year 3, I have like, they're like feed troughs, like round ones that a lot of people use for planters. I've used them for years, since we lived in South Dakota. And they've just been following me everywhere. And 2 years ago, when we moved back to Michigan, we were staying at my mother-in-law's in our travel trailer, which we had bought to spend summers in Michigan while Dave was in the military, because that way we'd have some place to stay, but it was our own space. But like, we parked it at her house. But anyway, so I went out and I gardened at her house, because I just can't stand not gardening in the summer. And so I had these pots, and I always call them my salad bowls, because I'll put lettuces or spring onions or like something like that. So I have some green onions popping up. It's their 3rd year, their 3rd growing season, because they came back last year, even though our goose had eaten it up. And then it's back this year. So I just have a perpetual green onion growing. It's great. It makes me feel successful. I haven't done a thing. So if you're a gardener, I know you're probably like scrambling like me. I have a hard time concentrating and sitting still because I feel like I could be doing something, but it's really too cold still right here. So I'm trying to be patient. But my peas are up. Tomatoes are out in the greenhouse. They're doing well. I'm hoping tonight's the last night for heater needed, because I'm over it. I'm over the snowflakes. We can move past it. We also got some new babies at our house. A couple weekends ago, we went to the farm store to get feed or something, and they had turkeys, bronze turkeys. And if you've been following me on Instagram since last fall, was it? I don't know. My cousin has 2 bronze turkeys. She named them Johnny Cash and June. And I just think they're so cool. I think we did talk about this on this Flosstube because his head was blue. And then I was stitching some sort of turkey at Thanksgiving time. And I changed it because... And then people told me that it changes color based on if they feel threatened. Anyway, enough turkey talk. We got 4 turkeys is what I'm saying. We got 4 turkey chicks. And they're adorable. And I have no idea. I hope I got a male and a female. It'd be nice to have a breeding pair. And the others might be Thanksgiving. I don't think I could do it, you guys. I don't think we could do it. And I got 5 little bantam chicks, but we lost 2. Which it's been really cold. And, you know, sometimes stuff isn't right with them. We have 1 bantam chicken. 1 bantam hen. She is so durable. She is so non-fussy. Nothing's ever bothering her. Our entire chicken setup was not meant for bantams. It's meant for full-size hens. But last spring, somebody had dropped off a box of 3 bantam chicks at my sister's house. Like, just left it on the sidewalk. And the box had said 4 chicks, quantity 4, but there was only 3 chicks in there. So we took them because my sister had said immediately no. And all of her kids were like, come on, we've already named them. And she's like, no way, Jose. They have a dog and that's it. So we took them and they can fly. 2 of them flew away. I did not realize that if you look at a bantam chicken, it doesn't look like they could fly because their wings are so weird compared to their body. But I still sometimes expect them to come back from the woods with the whole gaggle of babies because anyway, the one that stayed, she is so durable. I don't know how she eats or feeds. She lays. Right now she's broody. And and they're just like a great chicken. And their little eggs are so cute. You have to eat like 3 to 1. But anyway, so I wanted to get more bantams and I wanted to create a proper bantam coop that they cannot fly out of and that they could have a better setup. Although she doesn't complain. She goes about her life. She's a great chicken. She'll chase away the dogs and the cats. I've seen her back up our cat. It's hilarious. Anyway, we have babies. So that's fun. That's always fun to have spring chicks on our homestead. Nate's been playing hockey. It's been a bit much. The double rostering thing. Shan't be doing that again. He had a tournament last weekend. The boys were gone at a tournament. I stitched a bit. But anyway, it just adds a lot of chaos. And like 2 days a week, we don't eat dinner till 8 p.m. So I'm just trying not to complain. I know it's a very short, abbreviated season. So that's all that's been going around here. My house is extremely clean right now. I'm going to a retreat this weekend. Alicia, the Fanciful Flamingo, was going to stay tonight and then go to the retreat with me. But, she's going to stay one night here and then we're going to go to the retreat tomorrow, the Teresa Kogut retreat in Lansing. But she is unwell and so she had to cancel. So my house is super clean, which is kind of nice because it's obviously I was neglecting it because there was a point when I looked around and I thought, oh, we're having company. We should light this place on fire. It's not going to happen. But I really cleaned really well. So it's nice to live in a clean house again. But I've been stitching. I've got eggs in the incubator on the counter. That's super fun. We have 3 goose eggs in the incubator and 3 chicken eggs. I have 2 geese. I guess I wasn't done with the farm update. That's what I'm telling you. I have 2 geese sitting on clutches. We have no idea how many eggs are in there. Dave had told me that he thinks it's an odd mix of duck, chicken, and goose eggs. He can't get in there, but he did swipe 3 of them, and we put them in an incubator so that we can watch and hopefully, we want goslings. So anyway, at the end of this video, I'll post a little video of chickens or turkeys or something fun. But, so anyway, it's really exciting over here. And the house is clean. And I'm going to a retreat. And it's fantastic. So, all right. But what I've been stitching. Despite the boys being gone last weekend, I did not stitch a ton. But the week prior, I was really on a roll. And I finished a bunch of stuff. Can you see this? So I worked on my Sabbath Stitch. Alicia added me to the Sabbath Stitchers Facebook group. It's really fun over there. And it's nice to be around people that are stitching such amazing pieces. This is such an enjoyable stitch. I only worked on it for a little bit, but I finished A to Z. And I think I worked on these swoopy things. This is on a forbidden fiber. It's called Parliament. It's an 18 count. I'm stitching it with one floss, and I do love the coverage. I think it's really pretty. I love the color of it. I don't know how many forbidden fiber. Isn't it forbidden fiber? Forbidden fabrics. Either way, I like it. I like it. It's soft and nice. I worked on my spring ABCs. I think I've worked on this 3 out of my 5 days for my whip go. And I'm going to take it to the retreat this weekend, and I'm sure I'll have time to work on it a little bit more. It's the last one in the series that I have to stitch. Right now, winter's still up. I might just put up summer. I don't know. But I went to the Zoom last Thursday. They had a really great Zoom on the Stitch Your Stash group page. They had the Primrose Cottage designers on. It was really fun to hear them talk, and I got flower finished in gardens, and then I'm on another, H. So, looks like I just left a thread and went to bed. Do you ever do that? I did work on my round, gather round. I'm working on this one. I think it's called Wildflower Quilt or something like that. I worked on it for one evening. Got a little bit. It's an enjoyable little stitch. Sure do like it. I'm obviously behind though, because I got the next set in the series the other day, so I need to catch up. Hive Rules. I worked on this past weekend. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna tell you, I quit the Biscornu. I stitched on it for like several hours this past weekend, and it was just terrible. Because like I don't think I like 32 count linen. It's a little bit above my pay grade. So then I was frustrated. I threw it away, literally. I was like, I can't even figure out what is wrong with this, because like technically the stitches were in the right slots, but it seemed like they were not the right size because there was like those, I don't know what you're supposed to do. So anyway, so then I stitched on this for a little bit. I'm behind. I just started this a couple weeks ago. I mean, I'm not behind anybody because it's my own stitch, but there was a sale that started earlier, and I did during my March Mania, and it was too late for me to add something, but I did get the first page done. So I'm not finished with April's section, Be Sweet something. Be Sweet Like Honey. So I don't think I'm going to take this to the retreat, but just have a little bit more. I feel like I could, maybe I'll work on it. What day does May start? Monday? I don't know. Told you, we're not talking about the calendar no more. I also pulled out during school, my May. The May had hardly anything in this, and I do believe that I had started this in Stitch Mania 2021, because I remember we were staying in the RV. We went in my mother-in-law's house, and I framed out the green border, and I didn't even get all the way around, but we were watching a show or a movie or something. So it's weird that I have some specific memories and then others. Like I don't remember starting the April one at all, but I pulled this out. I've been stitching it. I got more of the frame in, and then I started with the little sheep. And then I started with the fence the other day. I love Prairie Schoolers. Love it. And I'm glad I'm not the only one who wonders about what she's doing. So those are all the whips I've been working on. I have a couple of finishes. And then a lot of fully finished objects. I finished this, must have been the Sunday after we last spoke. I left out the little, I don't have the pattern because it was a freebie and I didn't print out the cover sheet. There was some purple little motif below there, but I just kept it simple. I don't know what this little fussy thing is. I'm going to have to get that off before I finish it. I'm going to finish it into a pillow. And I'm excited about it. It was an enjoyable stitch. That was Sweet Wing Studios. I'm pretty sure you can still go get it. It's a freebie on her website. I finished my May whip wordplay last Wednesday. I had finished, okay. I finished it and I posted in the group. I thought I was done. And then I just couldn't not finish it. So I had posted in the Wordplay Wednesday group. Next week I'll do this, that, and the other. And then when I went to go put it down, I was like, I can't. I had to finish it. This was very off because somehow, some way, I had left out the word hoe over by the wheelbarrow. And so there was a couple things when I went to stitch it, I had to figure out how I was fudging that. How did I leave that out? I'm not sure, but I really, really think it looks great. Sorry, I had to pick that up. This was just a DMC conversion. I just picked a bunch of floss. I think that, I'm not positive, and I don't think I could find out. I think that I used a Priscilla Blaine thread conversion as my inspiration. I'm not sure. Did Priscilla stitch hers in pinks? Because I know she doesn't do purples, but I think that maybe that's why I picked those pinks. But I get a lot of questions about my conversions, and I'm happy to share them if I've written them down. But I know that for this one, I just picked I picked a blue. I picked a light blue and a dark blue. I picked a light pink and a dark pink, and I picked a green. And then I just plug them in. And so a lot of times if I give you my thread conversion, I can give you the numbers I used, but I don't replace one floss with another. I'll pick a word and stitch it in one color, and then I'll pick another word and stitch it in another color. It's not the same as the pattern. So she doesn't give DMC conversions, so but that one was a DMC. I have a feeling my next one is. I wanted to pull out my June one to show you because it's supposed to get stitched on today, but I forgot to pull it out of the whip bin. I also have to tell you something. I don't know why. I counted my whips. It was awful. I had 51. So bad. And then I finished my May wordplay. And I quit the Biscornu, so now I think I have 49. So basically, you guys, I'm not allowed to start nothing new until I get that number down. Although, it's 3 pages long. I ended up making it into a document. It's 3 pages long. And then I made notations on which whips are coming up on Whip Go this year, which whips will be getting stitched next March Mania. So there's hardly any of them that aren't on one of those schedules, and have hope. Some of them are on both. This was my WIPCO, one of my WIPCOs for April, and I finished it. I just stitched this during a Zoom with some stitchy friends. And it was really fun because I was stitching this, and Kathy from Two Needles Pulling Thread was in the Zoom as well. And she finished hers during the Zoom, and then I finished mine during the Zoom. And she's the reason I didn't stitch those little white thingies that you can hardly see, because she wasn't doing them, and I was done. But it was really fun. So, finished. So, I don't know what came about me, but I decided to finish some things. Probably because I finished this April Prairie Schooler, and I wanted to finish it to have it up on the wall instead of like December. This sits behind my, we have a pellet stove in our living room in the corner, and so I have some cross stitch pieces and some family portraits and stuff like that. So this sits up there. Sometimes it sits empty because I don't have them all stitched. But I finished this. I just added some little cute little pink flowers. I love that house so much. I used some legit Chelsea checks to finish this. Can you believe that? I think that my local quilt shop had some. I've never ordered any because I want to see it in real life. But otherwise, all of the plaids and checks that I use are usually Hobby Lobby's knockoffs. So I finished this, and when I was doing all of my huge rush of finishing, I saw that I have January stitch. So technically I need to fully finish that. I'm out of sticky board. So I finished that. So good. And while the glue gun was out, I ended up finishing this little guy. This is something I bought at a thrift store for $2. It's a little ruler box. It had a little picture, like a paper picture. That's cute. So I finished that little Fresh Egg Farm truck after I finished the leaf that I left out. Well, that is finished. I had this. It was near where my fabric was kept, and so I pulled it up and I just finished it. I think this is a Halloween finishing piece. Probably I'm sure from Hobby Lobby. I don't remember what it said, but this is a freebie from Pinker and Pumpkin Quiltin'. I stitched it last September during Stitchtober and Sunflower September, whatever they called it. And I love it. It's simple. Very simple. Let's see if I can. Don't want a domino effect. And I finished my April. Now, sometimes when you look at it certain ways, you can still see the fold from the fabric, which is very frustrating, even though I ironed it really well. Finished this using the same blue fabric. Love it so much. While I was finishing this, because I had ordered this big sticky board piece, I need the larger sticky board, and I don't often buy that. And sometimes Hobby Lobby just doesn't have it in stock. So while the glue gun was hot, I finished December and November and October. I love that. And February. I had shown that I had this done, but I didn't have the sticky board for this. And I got it, and it's beautiful, and I love it. So now I have quite a few of those done. I think I have 8 stitched out of 12. It's looking good. 8 out of 12. While the glue gun was hot, I also finished these 2 up. These were finishes from my March Mania. They go on the little basket that sits on my hutch. I have all of these stitched now, all 12. And I had this out. The most recent one I had finished was February. So I last Whip Go, I think May, June, and July were on my last year's Whip Go. So I have June and July still to finish, but I did get May finished so that there's something more current than February. This also sits on the other side of my pellet stove. It's really pretty. I've had this finishing. I think this is the first finishing Priscilla style I had ever done, and I still love it. I've gotten better. The January one is pretty rough, but I love that. So I finished all of those. I think that many of the other finishes, I had pulled out a bunch of stuff, ironed it really well, and then I want to do pillows for them. So I need to be in the right space to do it. So I had some amazing stitchy kindness, stitchy mail. A viewer named Jan sent me a message. She was extremely thoughtful. And she had this sent to, she had this made and sent to me. And I can't even. It's so kind and so thoughtful. Thank you very much. And I loved the little note she sent. And she sent her Christmas card so I could see what she looks like. I thought that was the sweetest thing. Sweet. So I have a little bit of haul. On the 15th, I only placed one order, I think. Maybe two. I had bought a half yard of wren. Is this Picture This Plus? Picture This Plus wren. So I have a good supply of fiber on a whim. And so now I think I'm going to work on some Picture This Plus collecting. It's very pretty. Some of those nice neutrals. Look at that. I bought that on my shopping day. And I went with blue. So last month on the 15th I bought pinks. And this month I bought blues. So pretty. I do need to think of another way to store my weeks. I need to research what other good ideas. I keep my floss pretty much on rings, on floss drops. So my DMC is already packed. Bags right there, packed for the retreat. So this is great. This works out great because the card has a hole for the ring and then for the floss. But my weeks doesn't. It only has one ring or one hole. And it's a hot mess. I need to research what I should do for that. Because I love weeks and I want to keep collecting their colors and I want to have a great stash. I'm thinking about doing, I don't know. What color should I do next month? Maybe yellows. Just like no yellow in there. Maybe greens. I don't know, you guys. But I feel like really, really love collecting something like that. And it's not as expensive as I thought it was going to be. So, I also, on a whim, on my shopping day, I think it was on my shopping day, I happened to look to go see if Como Stitches had any bags left. Because you know how it's hard for me to remember. I think I looked the next day and she had a vinyl front bag. I have had issues with vinyl front bags with the Prairie Schooler pictures coming off. Only Prairie Schoolers. You know how they reprinted some of the Prairie Schoolers? And see, this one got stuck. Can you see that? Maybe you can't see it. See how I don't know. It's got a coating to it, the printing, that has gotten stuck on some of my vinyl front. I do love vinyl front and the ability to see through them. And I especially love it when I don't have to make it. So this was still on her site and I snatched it up and I was so excited. I love it. Love it. And I bought the thread bed because I love those. She does such a good job. And my Grace Notes fabric arrived. Can you even, with the little thingy that they send, the little sticker that they send every month is so cute. Let's see if you can you even? Look at this. Frosted lemonade. I'm sure I'm the last Flosstuber to get their material, their club package. So pretty. So pretty. So pretty. And I got the next section of Gather Round, Gathering Butterflies. It comes with another needle. And I just think it's really well done. Look at the floss drop that it comes on. Beautiful. Beautiful. And in this box, she included a beeswax. It's from Noteworthy Needle. Cute! There was something I was stitching that I ended up using some floss wax. I don't remember what it was, but it did make a difference. So I decided I'm making plans. I'm packing. I have 49 whips, but I'm still going to start something new at this retreat because I feel like every retreat needs a commemorative new start. So I'm taking this. I got this at Stitch Away in January. It was part of the newcomers tea, welcome tea. Everybody sat down and got this pattern. And I thought, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Isn't it perfect? I do not have the called for colors. I'm going to have to convert them. And I wish Alicia was here to help me. Dang it. So I'm going to have to do that today. But I'm going to start this. So I'm going to take that with me and start that retreat. I'm going to take my spring ABCs because I need to get 2 more days of stitching in on that. And what else am I doing? I don't know, you guys. Today's Wordplay Wednesday. I'm going to stitch on my June Wordplay Wednesday. I have no idea where I left it. And now I have to wait till like 5 o'clock until Dave wakes up. The suspense is killing me. I'll probably search my Instagram feed before then because I can't handle that. The suspense. Today I'm gonna stitch during school on my May Prairie Schooler. I'm gonna stitch tonight on my tonight's library craft night. I wasn't gonna go because Alicia was gonna be in town, but now that it's just a normal Wednesday over here and my house is clean, I don't even have any chores to do. I think I'll go to the library and stitch tonight. I'll take my Wordplay Wednesday. I went 2 weeks ago with my mother-in-law, and she took her knitting, and it was a great time. And I got to catch up. It was so funny. Okay, I'm from a really small town. I think when I lived there was 4,000 people, but now there's less because when the auto industry went kablooey in like 08 or 09, it really didn't. Well, small towns like my hometown really struggled. So, anywho. So, I was sitting at this library thing, sitting and chatting with these ladies. And towards the end, this woman asked me my name. And she went to school with my dad, which was so funny. And then she was telling me her name. And I was like, oh, I went to school with so-and-so. And she's like, that's my nephew. And then we started catching up with him, about him. And he joined the military the same. So, his locker was right next to mine because he was a HOE and I was a HOI. The locker assignments. So I knew her nephew really well, and my husband attributes him finally getting the nerve to ask me out on our first date from that friend telling him, go ask her out right now. So it was funny. So I ended up messaging. I haven't talked to him in a little while, and I messaged him and I was like, I sat with your aunt and she was bragging on you. It was so cute. And so we caught up and it was fun. I love small town life. It still stresses me out a little bit because you know how sometimes I'm thinking a lot of things so I can't come up with words. It's worse with names at that small town grocery store. If I'm in that grocery store, I am on high alert because there's probably like 30 people I know and I can't remember their names. It's going to take me a minute. You know, I can recall them, but I haven't used that part of my memory in a long time. So anyway, so I really do like going to that stitching meetup. It's really nice. So I think I'll go tonight. Take my June wordplay. And then, I don't know. And then tomorrow I get to hug Tammy's neck. And I get to meet Felicia from Florida. And Brenda. And Pamela. And all these people. So I'm really, really, really excited and nervous. Mostly excited about not having to cook and clean and do dishes. My husband's going to do a humongous project this weekend. And I'm really excited. It's the last bit of our flooring that needs to be redone. And then our whole house will match, you guys. We are DIYers. Are you a DIYer? It's it's a struggle. Sometimes when there's a lag in the DIYing getting done, it's like, should we light it on fire or are we going to get it done? Because I can't live here anymore. So my husband's going to do the last of the flooring to match. Praise the Lord. Otherwise, I'm going to retreat. Next week, we're going to Washington, D.C. to cap off like our American history curriculum. We're going to go to D.C. We're going to get to see some friends from South Dakota when we were stationed at Ellsworth. And so I'm really excited about seeing their faces. And I don't know. We decided we're gonna stop at Gettysburg on the way there and spend a couple days in DC. So that'll be exciting. It's hard to get away, you guys, when you have chickens and geese and eggs and chicks. I have the most amazing house sitter, and praise the Lord. Do you ever wonder how people get away with when they have farms? You have to know somebody that's a farm sitter because it's stressful. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna stitch this weekend, and I don't remember what else I wanted to tell you, but okay. Have you been what are you doing for Mania? You know I cannot stitch Mania. However, Kia B decided she was going to frame up a stitch may or may not. Sorry, there was a fuzz. Did you see it? A may or may not Mania. And I was like, okay, I can get behind that because I think that I'll pick a couple of whips and just work on one per week. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to focus each week on one of my whips. If I can. I may not. That's why I like her playing. I may not get to it. If the weather's nice, I'll be out in the garden. But when I was formulating my list of whips, I went through my under the bed storage. It really shook me. I don't feel overwhelmed, but I feel like I need to attack it. I do this with quilting. I used to do this with quilting all the time. I don't carry a lot of whips in quilting anymore, but I used to because I like starting new stuff. Doesn't everybody? And there's something about my personality type where when I have a challenge, then I can really do well. So this challenge of having 49 whips, it's ugly, but I think that I'm hopeful. Also, when I redid that list, when I did that list and I was trying to coordinate my whip go board with my whip list to see which whips don't have any plans or getting stitched. There weren't very many, and those might be the ones that Mania gets. I don't know, but there was 2 slots on my whip go that have come open since March Mania because I had finished those projects. So that was reassuring. And then one of those slots is my May whip go. Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff, the official whip go drawer. She pulled the numbers the other day, and one of mine is a Thanksgiving row, I think, which is fine. That's fun. And probably that turkey I was just talking about. Wasn't that in my Thanksgiving row? It may have been. And the other one was something that has been finished. So I'm going to have to consider that and really focus on something that I would like to accomplish. I think that going into the summer months where I just have whips I can pick up and stitch on, I think that's probably great for me. So I'm not going to start anything new beyond my retreat piece for the foreseeable future. Oh, except for the Home Sweet Home sale. Yep. I'm going to start that. I think it's in June. Is it in June or May? I don't know. I'll get it all done someday. Okay. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. I hope that you get to stitch this weekend as much as I do. And that you've been having all the stitchy fun. I appreciate every single one of you. All of your comments make my day. Oh, to my friend who won the other project bag and isn't sure how to get in contact with me. I've commented on your comments a couple times, but just to be clear, you just need to email me your address. So just write an email to gardengoosestitcher@gmail.com, and just in the email, just say I won the project bag, and then I can send it to you. So I sent out Kayla's and OG Stitchery, Tracy, she got her project bag. We'll see how she likes stiff bags. But anyway, I finally got to the post office, what I'm telling you. Praise the Lord. There's something else I had to mail out too. So anyway, have a wonderful week, 2 weeks. I'll catch up with you later. Thank you so much for checking in with me, and happy stitching, friends. Bye-bye.